Hi, Teacher Melody is back. Let's have our lesson. We are now in Music 6, second quarter. The topic that we will discuss is simple musical notations in the key of C major, F major, and G major. Our objective reads simple musical notations in the key of C major, F major, and G major. Music 6, music elements, thus LLA, thus 1. Before we start, let's have first our pretest. Will you get one whole sheet of paper? Write your name and section. Okay, do you have your paper with you? Now, let's start. Let's read the direction. Write true if the statement is correct and false if the statement is wrong. Number 1. These letters C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C in this order represents the C major scale. Is it true or false? Next, number 2. These letters A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A in this order represents A sharp major. Number 3. This scale is G major scale. Number 4. The key of F major scale has no flat. Number 5. The key of C major scale has no flat and no sharp. Now let's check your paper. Be honest, check your own paper. Number 1. These letters C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C in this order represents the C major scale. Is it true or false? Yes, it is true. Number 2. These letters A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A in this order represents A sharp major. Is it true or false? What is your answer? Yes, it is false. Now let's go to number 3. This scale in G major scale is G major scale. Is it true or false? What is your answer? Yes, it is false. Number 4. The key of F major scale has one flat. Is it true or false? What is your answer? Correct, it is true. Now, let's go to number 5. The key of C major scale has no flat and no sharp. Is it true or false? What is your answer? Very good, it is true. Now, let's go to our topic. So, what is melody? Melody is a sequence of pleasing sounds that make up a particular musical phrase. If it is not pleasing sound, it is noise. Now, how can we read the melody in a musical piece? So, let's start in the key of C major, which is the base scale of all the key signature. It is called the fixed Do. So C major scale is a fixed Do. The key of C major has no sharp and no flats. Again, the key of C major scale has no sharp and no flat. Look at this illustration. We have the staff, the G clef here. Then after the G clef, there is no sharp and no flat. So it is in the C major scale. And there is a pitch name or the letter name. So the letter name is used in music. So the first 7 letters of alphabet is used in music is what we call the pitch name or the letter name. It is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. up to G only. After G, you're going back to letter A again. So, in C major scale, we are going to use the first letter, which is C. That is why it is C major scale. After C will be D, E, F, G, then go back to letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on and so forth. And these letters are called the pitch name or the letter name. Now, it has an equivalent SOFA syllable. When we say SOFA syllable, this is the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So, C is equivalent to Do in C major. D is equivalent to Re. E is equivalent to Mi. Fa is equivalent to F. G is equivalent to So. A is equivalent to La. B is equivalent to Ti. And the higher Do is C. Okay? Now, we have here the staff. When we say staff, 5 lines. We have the 5 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have the 4 spaces. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 space. In our body, we can have our staff, which is our hand. So, this is the first line, equivalent here, and the second line, the third line, the fourth line, and the fifth line. We have also the spaces, 4 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we have also 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, the first ledger line, this is what we call the ledger line below the staff. So, the first ledger line below the staff is the C, letter name C or the pitch name C, which is equivalent to Do. And the first ledger space is D, which is equivalent to Re. So, it's like in our hand. Let's imagine that there is a ledger line below the staff. This is our staff. So, it is letter C, which is equivalent to Do. And the ledger space here, imaginary ledger space, is D. And the equivalent is Re. Now, in the staff, we have the acronym for the lines. We have every good boy does fine. First line is every, second line good, third line is boy, fourth line is does, and fifth line is fine. The first letter of the acronym is the letter name. E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. E is equivalent to SOFA syllable me. G is equivalent to So. B is equivalent to Ti. D is equivalent to Re. And F is equivalent to Fa. Now, in our body, we have our hands, which is, we can use it as our staff. The first line is every. First finger. Second finger or second line is good. Third line or third finger is boy. And the fourth finger or fourth line is does. And the fifth finger or fifth line is fine. So we have first line E, G, B, D, F. Now we have E equivalent to me, G equivalent to So, B equivalent to Ti, D is equivalent to Re, and F is equivalent to Fa. So, every good boy does fine. Mi, So, Ti, Re, Fa. Now, in the space, we have the acronym FACE. F for the first space, A for the second space, C for the third space, and E for the fourth space. F is equivalent to fa. La is equivalent to A. C is equivalent to do. And E is equivalent to mi in so fa syllable. Now, in our hands, we have also four spaces. So, this is F, the first space in our hands. The second space is A. Third space is C. And the fourth space is E. Okay? And then, F is equivalent to fa, A is equivalent to la, C is do, and E is mi. Now, in C major scale, so, this is the staff, okay? And the letter names. So, C, D, or do, re, E, every good boy does fine, and then mi, so, ti, re, fa. And then, in space, we have the F-A-C-E, or face, and then fa, la, do, mi. So, let's have a piece of notes here in the staff. Okay? It is for 4 times signature. So, the first ledger line is this one. So, it is C, equivalent to do. Okay? And then, the first ledger space is D, equivalent to re. So, first line is E, equivalent to mi. Then, again, C, then do, then first line, we have the E and mi. Again, C, and then do. First line again, E, mi. So, first ledger space is D and re. First line, E, equivalent to mi. Then, first first space is F or fa, F or fa. And then first line, E, which is mi. First ledger space, D, re. And then the first space, F, equivalent to fa. So, it is in the major scale. When we say major scale, no sharp here and no flat. So, remember that C major scale has no sharp, okay, in here, and no flat in here. So, this is the C major scale. Now, let's go to the key of G major scale. So, in G major scale, let's go back to our acronym in the lines, which is every good boy does fine, and the so fa syllable is E is equivalent to mi, G is equivalent to so, B is equivalent to ti, D is equivalent to re, and F is equivalent to fa. Okay. Now, how are you going to look for the do in the key of G? So, the do in the key of G, this is the key of G, it is in the second line. Okay? So, it is in the second line. So, the key of G is in the second line. So, we are going to do it to make the so becomes do. So, it is already movable do. Since C major scale is our fixed do. So, G major scale is movable do. So, this so will become do because it is in the G major scale. Okay? Now, so, let's go back to the G major scale. So, the G is here. So, we will forget the so fa syllable. All are we going to do is to look for the letter name. Okay? So, if G is in the second line, here, second line, so this is now G. Okay? So, G is equivalent now to do. Then, the space, second space here is letter A. Okay. La will become do, which is next is the next is re. Okay. Then, after that, the third line is B. This T will become me. Okay? The next, 1, 2, 3. So, third line, third space is C. So, get the C, the letter name C, and then C or the do will become fa. And then the next is D, fourth line. Then re will become so. Okay? And then next is E. So me will become la. And then next is F. Sharp. F sharp na siya. Okay? Then the F sharp will become T sharp instead of fa. And then the next is G. F, G. So G. The G will be do or the higher do. Okay? So, why do F have sharp? Because G major has one sharp here. Okay? One sharp here. So, this F is affected by this accidental sharp. Okay? So, that is why it is F sharp or T sharp. Remember that G major scale has one sharp here, located in the fifth line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth line. Okay? Now, the key of G major is a major scale based on G with the pitch of G. Okay, it starts with G, that is why it is G major, then A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp, and then G again. Its key signature has one sharp, which is F sharp, when we look at the key of C major. The do is in the first ledger line below the stop, which has a pitch name or a letter name of C. This is called the fixed do in C major scale. Now, in the key of G major scale, the do here is called movable do, because from the original do in the key of C major scale, the do is moved in the pitch name or letter name G. The pitch name or letter name of G now is called do. Okay? Now, let's read these notes. Okay? It has one sharp, so it is major, G major scale. So, this is now the sofa syllable of the G major scale. So, G is the do, then A is re, B is mi, C is fa, then D is so, E is la, F is T, and E is la, and then D is so. Now, look at this stuff or note. The first note is in the third line. What is the letter name of the third line? 1, 2, 3. The letter name is boy or B. So it is B. And the equivalent of B is me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have in the fourth line, which is the das or D. Equivalent is so. Then 1, 2. We have the second line, which is G, equivalent to do. And then, again, third line is B and me. Now, in the first ledger space here is D, equivalent to so. First line is E, equivalent to la. First space is F, equivalent to T. Second line is G, equivalent to do. Then, second space is A, equivalent to re. And then, first line is E, equivalent to la. And then, second line, G, equivalent to do. And the last one is F, equivalent to T. So, that's how it is read. Now, let's go to the key of F major scale. So, let's go back to the letter name, which is every good boy does fine. And the space F-A-C-E. The first letter space is D. So, let's look where is the F in the F major scale. In our stuff, the F is in the first space. Okay? And the higher F is in the fifth line here, which is fine. So this is the lower F and the higher F. The lower do and the higher do. Now, let's go to the F major scale. So, F now will become do. And then G will become re. A will become mi. B will become fa. C will become so. D will become la. E will become ti. And F will become do. E will become ti. And D will become la in our stuff. So, this is the stuff. So, the first space is F, which is do. The second line is G, which is re. Second space is A, which is me. Third line is B, which is fa, B flat or fa flat. Then the third space is C, which is so. And then the fourth line is D, which is la. And then fourth space is E, which is T. And the last line is F, which is do. Now, why do this B has a flat? Because the F major scale has one flat in the third line. So, the third line is affected by this accidental flat, that is why it is B flat and fa flat. Remember that F major scale has one flat located in the third, 1, 2, 3, third line. Okay? Key of F major is based on F with the pitches F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and E. Then go back to F. Its key signature has one flat, which is B flat. When we look at the key of F major, the do is in the first space, which has a pitch name or letter name of F. This is called movable do. Okay? Now, let's go back to major scale, F major scale. So, this is the letter names, the acronym Every Good Boy Does Fine and FACE, and the SOFA syllable Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Okay? Now, so, look at this staff, it has one flat. That is why it is F major scale. Now, let's have the letter names of these notes. The first one is the ledger line. It's in the ledger line. Below D is letter C, which is so. Again, C, which is so. And then, the first ledger space is D, which is la. And then C again with the ledger line. And then so. The first ledger space is F, which is do. First line is E, which is T. And then C again, ledger line. And then do, C, so, and then C, so again. Okay? Remember that F major scale has one flat located in the third line. 1, 2, 3, third line. Okay? So now let's go to the post test. Will you get one whole sheet of paper? Then write your name and section again. Do you have it with you? Now, let's read the direction. Write the letter name and the SOFA syllable of the given notes in the staff and choose what is the key signature. Is it C major scale, which has no flat and no sharp? G major scale, which has one sharp, and F major scale, which has one flat. It is easy to recognize, okay? Now, this is number 1. What is the key signature or what is the major scale of this with one sharp? And then, what is the letter name of the first line and the SOFA syllable? So, write the letter name here in the first lines, and then in the second lines are the SOFA syllable. And this is number 2. Write the scale or the major scale or the key signature. There is no sharp and no flat. What is the key signature? And in the first ledger line, what is the letter name and the SOFA syllable? So write the letter name here and the SOFA syllable here. In the third staff, we have one flat. What is the key signature or the major scale of one flat? Then 1, 2, 3 in a third space, what is the letter name and the equivalent of SOFA syllable? So write the letter name in the first lines and in the second lines the SOFA syllable. Okay? So do it now. So click the like reaction and subscribe button. Thank you.